फर्स्ट टाइम वो पास पेपर तो ही है पहले आता तो ये मैग्नीस के बाद
मैगजीन का वजह से नहीं था. This is the first one. Okay. So all my online student, am I audible to every one of you? Okay. So in today's class, we are going to discuss the pre-scene. I've already shared the pre-scene on your groups. So make sure that you have the entire pre-scene available. Number one. Number two is the pre-scene. The pre-scene that we have currently received right now is based on magazine publication industry. Now, whenever there is a pre-scene related to a manufacturing industry or an industry that actually works with tangible items, there are two, three things that we need to keep in our mind. See, magazine industry is a publication industry. So definitely in today's world, this industry is right now facing lots and lots of challenges. Historically, when I was a kid, I used to read magazines. There were magazines that my parents used to buy, and they used to bring at our homes. But the fact is that because of the fact that this is a magazine-based industry, so a magazine-based industry is specifically right now, it must be facing lots and lots of challenges, and that goes without saying. You also know that we are facing challenges in terms of digital magazines. Maybe we might be facing challenges in terms of having digital or e-books, Kindles, and other books as well. So magazine industry is right now in a very challenging situation. Now the fact is that what are the major point of concerns that we are going to do in this magazine industry? How do we take this thing into consideration? I don't know why, but I'm expecting a risk question in this sector. There might be a risk question in this sector, and due to the fact that that this is an industry that is right now facing some challenges. So risk is something that goes inevitable, and there are much chances of risk being tested in this exam. So number one. Number two is I have read this pre-scenes once, and I have reached to a conclusion that this is quite a simple type of pre-scene. And whenever he issues a simple pre-scene, keep this thing in your mind that expect the exhibits to be on the difficult side, right? I'm not saying that your paper will be difficult, but my point of concern is that because of the fact that the exhibit seems to be quite easy, the pre-scene seems to be quite easy, so there might be some difficulty in the real exhibits or the scenario related exhibits that can be tested in the exam. Now, today's class agenda is that I'm going to read the entire pre-scene in front of you. We are going to predict some questions based on this pre-scene. We will drill it down. We will do a post-mortem of the pre-scene, and this will actually help us in identifying what are the areas that can be tested in this real examination. So these are the factors that we need to keep in our mind before getting into our examination. Again, this pre-scene is applicable for March 2026 examination. There are many students who keep on asking me, sir, should we practice the old pre-scene as well? Yes, if you have time, old pre-scene is good to practice, but if you don't have time, it's better to practice the past papers and move forward with the new one. Before this pre-scene classes, I have given many students the instruction that they at least three papers, three full-fledged past papers should have been attempted before coming into these classes. Because if you are not well aware of how the questions are being tested in this examination, then it will be difficult for you to even skim this pre-scene and to understand what this pre-scene actually is going to tell us in the real examination. But let's see what this pre-scene has to tell us. So I'm going to highlight this pre-scene. I will share this annotated version with you all on your group. But if you have your pre-scene in front of you, it's better that you highlight it. Abhi pre-scene ready. Okay. So now this entire session will be in English, and we will do lots and lots of practice. Plus, we'll do a very detailed past analysis on this pre-scene as well. But that we'll do afterwards. So let's start. So firstly, we have the introduction. Obviously, this company is a magazine publication company. So we have been given with the introductory paragraph. Then we are given with the sector information. Historically, every pre-scene that you must have seen in your life till now, there must be some sector information given to you, and there must be some company overview given to you. So there is a sector information in which we have been given with the overview of the sector, the products that this sector, the magazine publication sector, I'm talking about the magazine publication sector, the products that they are delivering, magazine staff. Obviously there must be publication staff, there must be recently when I was in Malaysia, I met a taxi driver, and he told me that he is actually working for a magazine company and he writes blogs in the magazine company, and for part time he is driving Uber. So there must be staff that actually are the content creators of this industry. There must be staff that are included in the publication in publication factors. Then there are magazine authors, obviously, there are magazine authors. Then there are other magazine staff. Then magazine production process. How do we produce this magazine? Now, this must definitely mean the printing process of the magazine company. Then there's some softwares that are connected to this industry. Then sources of income. So what are the sources of income of this industry? Maybe what I believe is there can be two major sources of income from this industry. The first one can be in the form of the printing. That is the people who are going to buy these magazines, the first source of income. And the second source of income can be from the advertisements of different brands. Their advertisement can be published in these magazines, and this will also give us an insight as if magazine company is working or generating this income or not. So then there are certain expenses as well. See, remember, as I have told you, it is just a general information that I feel that this industry must be facing some sort of risk in terms of that the industry may be, reluctant to move towards the digital technologies. And digital technology is something that this industry is going to face. So this means that for today, we need to keep in our mind that technological sectors or technological factors is something that is going to be one of the major risk of this industry. Then we'll talk about the industry body. We'll talk about the stakeholders. Remember, he's not giving you something related to the shareholders. He's giving you something related to the stakeholders. And whenever I say stakeholders, the first model that should come into your mind is the Mendelow's matrix model, right? So whenever I say stakeholder, the first model that should come into your mind is Mendelow's matrix model, in which there are 4 quadrants of that model. Then there are some industry challenges. If there are some industry challenges, there must be some challenges to the company as well. Then they have given you the risk of this industry. It is not necessary that the company is also facing the same risk, but it cannot go against the fact that the company must be facing these risks because they are in the same industry. So there can be some risk, there can be some related risk in this industry. Then there are some key performance indicators. So the key performance indicators are basically the indicators that help us to identify what are the factors that are going to contribute well in this company. What are the factors that are going to contribute well in this industry? Then they have given us the company's overview as well. So now in the company's overview, they have provided us information that there's a background of the company. Maybe the company is a public listed company, maybe the company is a private listed company, maybe the company is a partnership, maybe the company is a sole trader. I don't know, you all must have gone through the pre-scene, but we are going to go through it right now, and then we will figure it out if it is a public listed company or contrary to it. Achha, remember one thing, if it is a public listed company, then all the rules and regulations of the governance are going to be applicable to this company. If it is a public listed company, then all the rules and regulation of the corporate governance are going to be applicable to this specific company. Then there are some missions and values given. And I have always told my student that whenever you find out the mission and values of a company, whenever you find out the mission and values of a company, you can do two different things. Either to copy this mission and see this mission and value is just given on page number 7, and that also the part of page number 7. So they must be around 2-3 lines, not more than that. Either to copy it when you are sitting in your actual examination, open the PreSeen first, copy this mission and vision line in front of you onto your response sheet. Maybe you can do it in this manner that let's suppose this mission and vision goes directly with question number 2. So you can copy it in the question number 2's response or the word processor sheet. Or you can copy it in all the 3 requirements on in all the 3 pages. It will hardly take 15 seconds, right? You have 15 minutes to do all this stuff. Then they have told you about the ownership. So whenever they tell you about the ownership, this means that either it's a public listed or a public private listed. Then they have told you about the governance as well. Acha, I have seen such questions in the examination that whenever it's a private listed company, na, so in the real examination, the examiner tries to move this private listed company to a public listed. So when there is a private listed company, the governance laws are no doubt applicable. The auditing laws are no doubt applicable, but they're not very strict. But when it becomes a public listed company, the governance laws, the auditing laws are going to be very much strict. So, there's a hindrance between the two areas. Then board structure. Board structure means how the board is drafted. We know it well that the board should compose 2 different types of directors. Number 1, executive. Number 2, non-executive. And at least there should be 4 different types of committees. At least there should be 4 different types of committees. So this is how the board should work, right? Then ये handouts है आपको उसको जरा बोलो 5 और then 5 वो कर देगा उसके पास products. So what are the products that the company is selling? अच्छा, it is not necessary. Just a minute. It is not necessary that the products that the industry is offering, we are also offering the same products. But the examiner can ask you a question that as the industry is offering 15 products and we are offering only 10 products, so do you think that we should offer the next remaining 5 products as well? So this can be one of the questions in your examination. I don't know if the examiner is going to ask you this question or not, but this can be one of the questions in the actual examination. Then organization. Organization means how the organization is being structured in terms of the departments, in terms of working methodology, maybe in terms of capital structures as well. Then it says the content production staff. So how the content is being produced by the organization. Then paper and printing. Now, whenever I say paper, which it means that this is an ecological threat. This is going to be an ecological threat. And due to the fact that this is an ecological threat, so this means that this entire paper industry, this means that the entire printing industry will be at stake. So you might be asked a question regarding, yes, scarce resources. So you might be asked a question regarding how do you foresee the CSR activities? There can be a question that says that how do you foresee the CSR activities? Then 10 is distribution. Distribution is how do you distribute it? Now, historically, we used to have news hawkers, and we used to have a person on bicycle who used to sell these magazines along with the newspaper. But now I believe that the methodology might be different. Then it says IT system. Now, I don't know what IT system is he going to talk about. But what I believe is that there might be some subscriptions of magazines, e-magazines maybe, or there might be some subscriptions of magazine, the printed magazines as well. So let's see. Then he's talking about the stakeholders. See, now when I say that there are 2 times he have talked about the different stakeholders, this means that I'm getting a very good hint that he might be asking you how to keep the stakeholders satisfied. And for keeping the stakeholders satisfied, we need to have the Mendelow's matrix model. And Mendelow's matrix model is going to be one of the most important models. No, there is no past paper related to this industry right now. They have also identified the risk related to this specific company. They have also identified the risk related to this specific company. Remember, I told you in my yesterday's class as well, whenever the examiner is going to tell you regarding the risk related to this company, he might be asking you question to identify the impact and mitigation strategy on the risk given in the pre-scene, number one. There might be another type of question that apart from the risk given in the pre-scene, what other risks can you identify from the exhibits? Or he might simply ask you to apply the risk to the risk heat map, or how to handle these risks using an appropriate model where you are going to apply the Tara model, although it is left right now, but I'm just giving you a nahi, balki Tara model we are done, the risk heat map is left. So we'll do it. Tara model to kiya na? Yesterday we did Tara model. Transfer, accept, reduce. Yesterday we did Tara model. Then they have given us a website extract. So this means that they must be having a website as well relating to the company. Oh my God, they have given us a corporate social responsibility statement. See, it's a very good hint from the examiner that I might ask you how to incorporate the CSR into the company's daily routine, how to incorporate the CSR, how to incorporate the strategic CSR, how to incorporate these CSR strategies into the daily routines of the employee, into the routines of the individuals, into the routines of the company, into the structure of the company. They have given you a corporate social responsibility statement. Now, this time you do not need to copy paste only mission and vision. This time you need to copy paste a third statement as well, and that is the corporate social responsibility statement. When you are sitting in your exam, either you copy it in all the 3 requirements that you are going to get, or you copy it in the requirement that specifically relates to the CSR. See, they have again told you that there is a corporate social responsibility statement given in the examination. So if they have given you this corporate social responsibility statement, this is something that will be helpful to you. So then they have given you financial and non-financial information. Remember, some financial and non-financial information over here, and some financial and non-financial information relating to an acquisition merger in the exhibit form will lead you to a question that relates to a model, which is the suitability, feasibility, acceptability, or identify financial and non-financial areas of the specific acquisition merger or related models. So this is a very good pre-scene, a very comprehensive one, but I believe this is one of the easiest pre-scenes that we have seen so far, right? I won't say easiest, but I would say the categories of easy pre-scenes, if I amalgamate them all, so this is one of them, right? So again,
Control sheet only.
difficult questions. Please don't open your mic.
Okay, so for Nitin, just give me a second.
Come on. Okay. Then the merge co. Acha, whenever you see such name, what originality do you think that this you know yes, obviously it's a French company. It's a French name. So this is the introduction. It says the merch company is one of the five biggest publishers of the magazine in the country of Darland. So it is one of the five biggest publishers. Well, it was. one of the 5 biggest publishers of magazine in the country of Darwin. In the country of Darwin. It was established 60 years ago, so it has a history of 60 years till now. Merge publishes magazines on a wide range of leisure subjects in both print-based and digital formats. So this means that there are possibilities that you are publishing in both print-based and digital formats. Now, let's just make an educated guess. Let's suppose if I ask you that over here we are going to apply the BCG model. Randomly, I'm asking you that over here I'm going to apply a BCG model, and I'm not given with 4 different products. I'm just given with 2 different products. What do you think? Which product are you going to classify as star, and which product are you going to classify as cash cow? Remember, wait. Why am I calling one of the product as cash cow? Because they have a history of 60 years and they are one of the biggest publishers in the top 5 publishers. So this means that their product is still in demand. So if their product is still in demand, I don't think so that they should invest more in the cash cow, and I don't think so that they should lose their investment in the star product. So the answer is very obvious. The star products should be the digital formats, and the cash cow, it should be the print-based formats. So this is one of the 5 biggest producers or publishers in the country of Darwin. It's a 60 years old company, and it is just focusing on the leisure activities, not any other. Just a minute. Okay, so sector information. Now, firstly, what leisure like entertainment-based fitness? Yeah, entertainment-based industry, the lifestyle industry, maybe sports-related industry, maybe water activities, maybe some amusement related industries. So all these industries are going to be sector information. Now, overview. Let's look at the overview. A magazine is a publication generally produced on a regular schedule on a regular schedule means, let's suppose, after every 15 days, after every 1 month, after every 2 months, after every single quarter, after every biannually or annually. So containing articles and illustration often covering a particular subject or aimed at specific readers. So magazine can be general. See, if I say that the magazine can be categorized, or the magazine industry can be categorized into 2 different forms. Either it can be for the general readers, or it can be for the specific readers. For example, have you ever heard about Digest magazine? It used to be a history and one of the favorite magazines of women who were at their home or homemakers. So that specific magazine was specifically for specific type of readers. So over here as well, it says that it is either general or covering subjects or aimed for specific type of readers, maybe the people who love sports, maybe people who love amusements, maybe people who would want to look at or travel at different countries. So there can be a magazine that talks about the speciality of different countries. Niche consumer. I won't say niche consumer, specific consumer. So now magazines are published on a range of different subjects. Magazine publications or publishers may have other media interests. For example, provision of market research service. The 5 biggest publishers of magazines in the Darwin around half of the market in the Darland in terms of revenue. Okay. So the five different people, the five different companies in the Darland constitutes around half of the revenue from this industry, which means that the remaining ones are going to get the other half. So the remaining ones can be 30 different companies, 100 different companies, 400 different companies, 1,000 different companies. But the top five companies in the Darland, in which our company is also included, it accounts for 50% of the total revenue. The total market size in the Darling is about 8,000 millions in revenue terms. So it's now very simple that $4,000 revenue is divided among the top five. Now, till now, we don't know what is our rank. Until now, we don't know what is our revenue. But I'm definitely sure that he's going to give us some information regarding our revenue, and we'll be able to identify our industry size in terms of top five company and in terms of the total revenue generation of the company. So you need to remember these two percentages that I'm going to calculate it right now. Yes, Omar, wait. So it says magazines are generally published on a regular basis. Many magazines are published monthly. So there are many magazines who are which are published monthly, but others are published weekly or quarterly. Each version of the magazine is known as edition. So now let's suppose 2026 edition number 1, 2026 edition number 4. So this means if you are publishing it weekly, so there should be 52 editions. If you're publishing it monthly, so there should be 12 editions. If you're publishing it quarterly, so there should be 4 editions per annum. For example, yes, Mariam, recording will be shared. For example, the monthly edition for January 2026. So there can be monthly edition for Jan 2026 as well. Now, if I move forward, most magazines are published in both print-based hard copy and digital online format. Now, I don't know if this digital online or hard copy is free of cost or not. But if they are charging an amount of money, this means that revenue is now being generated from this source. The market for the print-based magazine is diminishing. As I told you, that if I'm just giving an educated guess, if let's suppose we apply the Boston Consultative Group, the BCG matrix, so we will consider the printing industry as no, not dog, no, not question mark. We will consider it as cash cow. Why? Because it still have the revenue of 8,000 million. Sorry, it still covers the revenue of around 4,000 million from the top five industries, from the top five companies. So it's a big move. Yes, we are not going to invest more on this company, on this product, although it is likely to remain significant for some time to come. You know why I am saying it cash cow? Because for the time being, this is going to be significant. So you are going to take out cash from the cash cow and you will invest in the digital online platforms, in the digital online formats. The amount that you receive, the revenues that you receive, the profit that you receive from the cash cow should be invested in star industry. क्योंकि digital wait. Sir, the revenue is from both industry and not from the. Yes, the revenue is no doubt from the both industry, but still we are right now in the top five companies. And because of the fact that we are right now in top five companies, so I'm assuming that this is also providing you some substantial amount of revenue for the time being. Now, readers are defined as anyone who pays to have access to the magazine content. So this means that there is no such thing as free lunch in this economy. There is no such thing as free lunch in this economy. The readers who pay get the access of the magazine content either in print or digital form. Some reader pays a subscription to purchase a set number of editions of the magazine, or to access online content for the set provided. So sometimes the reader says that, okay, how many editions have been published? So they say, okay, there are right now 4 editions of this magazine being published. So I'll go and say, okay, I need hard copy, that is the printed form of the entire set. And there are other readers who say, okay, how many editions have been published? So if there are 4 editions have been published, so okay, I need to have the online access of this entire publication. Now, readers who pay a subscription for the magazine in any format, print or digital, are known as subscribers. So you need to remember 2 different words. Number one is the editions. So editions is the number of publications of a particular magazine. Editions. I would rather say the chapters of magazine. And number 2 is subscribers. Series of magazine chapters. Yes, series. Series is a better word. So series of magazines and subscribers are actually the readers who pay a subscription fee in order to get the access to the content, either the printed form or the online recorded form. Now, the products. The majority of magazines published in the Darling relates to the leisure activity. So what I believe is that Darling is a place somewhat like Paris, where there are leisure activities. La Tomatino is one of the famous. 1 minute. Okay, so now these are the 2 important words that we need to keep in our mind. The majority of the magazines published in the Darlin relates to leisure activity. So what my belief is, as it's a French name, and maybe it's they are talking about Darlin as Paris, and because of the fact that Paris is very much famous for leisure activities, and there are many other activities as well. So this means that the interest of majority of the people of this company, of this economy, is to invest their amount and the time in the leisure activity. And interest including home, lifestyle, sports, hobbies, computers, motoring, transport, music, film, television programs, and celebrity news. Uh, so leisure activities and interest. So leisure activities and interest includes all these factors. Now, there are also some business and professional magazines covering news and matters of interest for specific business sector, but we are not doing the same. We just focus on the leisure activity. If we focus on the leisure activity, so we need to stick on the fact that there's a leisure activity, but we have competitors. For example, I would rather say that a substitute good of leisure magazine might be business magazine. For example, if my interests change and if I started reading from the leisure magazine to the business magazine, so that can be a close competitor for us, right? And occupation. The content of the magazine varies according to the subject of the magazine. It might typically include the latest news about the subject. So there might be some news about a new amusement park opening. There might be some news about the F1 racing in the economy. There might be some news about a sports event. Like for example, there I have came across some of the magazine companies who are actually covering the World Cup in Sri Lanka, and they are originally Sri Lankan based companies. So, the magazine companies that focus on such activities, they may take out the subject and they start focusing on series of, for example, if I would want to have editions on the World Cup, so I can have the same based on the World Cup that is going on. Articles on the topic of interest, regular opinions by the particular authors, and reviews of the product connected to the subject of the magazine. For example, if you think that cricket is one of the leisure activity, or maybe football is one of the leisure activity, so I can give you information regarding the football league that is going on. And I might also give you an information regarding a football that is, let's suppose, the aerodynamic football being introduced. I don't know how the evolution in football industry is working, but let's suppose aerodynamic football is now being introduced, or maybe some other material football is introduced and people are loving it, or maybe the football have a tendency to calculate how hard it was hit by a particular player, so we can calculate that. Last time when when there was a goal from Ronaldo, it was around, maybe I'm just giving a guess, like 27 meters away. But Messi made a goal from 37 meters away as well. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of football, but maybe some information like this can also be provided in the magazine industry. So the digital content available for the magazines varies by publishers and magazine. Now, my point of concern is, and let's suppose if you can give an idea that if the new industry that is evolving right now is the digital magazine industry. So how to differentiate the normal printing magazines to the digital magazines? How to differentiate? What do you think?
We can use small animated clips.
Okay, we can use some small animated clips regarding the same topic, maybe. Yes. What other factors? You can have a public opinion block where the public can also give their opinion. Plus, you can have some additional information provided on the digital magazine. For example, if the people is, if someone is willing to read about Messi, so the information that relates to the league is provided on the front page. But there is a small blog given that if you want to read more about Messi's personal life, or Imad Wasim's personal life, or any other person's personal life, so you can just click it on that blog and you will get some additional information only to the digital consumers, not to the print magazine consumers. Then it says the digital content available for the magazine varies by publishers and magazines. Sometimes the publishers just reproduce the content. This is what we were talking about. If I ask you what objectives suggest you are an external consultant of the company, suggest the company that how to improve the digital magazine. So don't just reproduce the magazine that you have printed, rather to add on some additional features. For example, open the public comment box. People would want to read more about the political personalities and they would want to give their opinions. They would want to read more about famous personalities all around the world. And people love to give their opinions on the famous personalities. So again, it says that the digital content available for the magazine varies by publishers and magazines. Sometimes the publishers just, I don't know what we are doing, but if we are doing the same, then this makes a question for us in the examination. What are the possibilities of increasing the footprints of the digital technology in this market. So how are you going to increase? By providing value for money for the people who are actually investing for the digital based experiences. Yes. Acha, let's suppose if I ask you that make a comparison between the physical magazine, printed magazines, and the digital magazine. What will you say? What can be the plus point of physical magazine? If you can just let me know. Is there any plus point of using physical magazine apart from lots and lots of negative points, that is environmental pollutions and see physical touch on paper have their own psychological impact as well. When you physically touch your handout, it has a psychological impact. You know, the smell of the book, the physical feel of that book is definitely going to have a psychological impact. Expect a question to have a comparison between the two and conclude which is the better question. So you need to give at least one, first free, then paid content, digital. Yes, first free, then paid content. Yes, but the best part is that technology will definitely, physical printing will definitely have some impact in terms of psychological values of a reader. And there are many, many old readers who would want to have, for example, I know a person in my area who still buy newspaper from a news hawker. He still throw the newspaper right from the gate. And that this is something that which is very unique. I used to see this in when I was a very small kid, but the people who would love to read through the printed form of the magazine or the newspaper. So there are many people who want this psychological impact in their minds. For example, yes, there may be people who are habitual. Plus, even you guys also want printed form, right? And when I enter into this class, many people say, "Sir, please get us a printout of that old handout." So this means that you also don't want to have digital handouts. Yes. So sometimes just reproduces the content and format the print-based version of the magazine online. However, some publishers offer extra content through number of online channels, such as additional website material relating to the magazine content, further written content, images, and video clips. A very important thing. Older population also prefer printed magazine. Yes, Neha. Then there are email newsletters as well. Email newsletter means that, let's suppose if we find out anything more about Merceh, we will email you because you are our regular subscriber. You are our paid customer for the digital print. Then podcast. Yes. I went into a library where there was an author of a book, and they were charging an amount of money in order to meet the author of the book. I'm a very diehard fan of Alchemist. Although I didn't find the Alchemist author, I don't know if he is alive or not, but I am a very diehard fan of Alchemist. I used to read J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter as well. I don't know if this is something kiddish or not, but I used to read all the series of J.K. Rowling, each and every book of J.K. Rowling. So I would love to meet him if he is alive right now in this world. But the fact is that you can charge an amount of money for the people who would want to meet him. And I can just ask him question, what were the things that you were thinking when you were writing the actual Harry Potter into your mind? See, if you have gone through the movie of Harry Potter and if you have read Harry Potter, there is a huge difference between the two. Trust me, there's a huge difference between. Although the movie is superb, I'm not saying that the movie is not good, but the reading impact is out of this world. I mean, you can do anything. You can think of every single factor. You can even when you close down the book, you still start thinking about that book and still start thinking about the imagination that how that specific school must be working. So book has almost all the details. Yes. So podcasts, audio and video programs discussing the topics of interest to magazine readers, which are available for downloading or streaming. So do you know that if you take paid subscription of Spotify as well, you get the podcast of popular personalities from all around the world. So same goes for the fact that if you have taken the paid subscription of digital magazine, you might be getting the podcast of all the personalities whom we have marketed whom we have identified in our digital magazines. Then social media uses includes highlighting specific contents, promoting next edition of magazines, raising topics for discussion and sharing among social media followers. Now, my point of concern is, let's suppose if the examiner say that you are an external consultant of a company, identify the marketing objectives by which the digital platforms can be marketed into around this world. So firstly, you need to give some spice to your content on social media. You need to give some spice. For example, I'm taking the name of Imad Wasim again and again, but you can give spice to this topic. If you have, covered this topic in the magazine, you can give spice to this topic on the social media platform, maybe Instagram, Facebook. Hania Amir is one of the persons. Yeah, Jeffrey Epstein. Yes, I believe you are very much obsessed with this thing. Then promoting the next edition. It's like promoting the fact that what new can you see in the next edition. Like at the end of every drama series, you get to know that, okay, what will happen in the next. It's like a teaser to be given in the on the social media websites. Then raising topics for the discussion and sharing. Okay, I'm open to public comments. I'm giving you a blog where you can also comment, and people would love to share their comments and exchange their opinion. Then social media followers are going to be one of the major reasons why they are subscribing our digital form of magazines. Then publishers also enter partnership to ensure maximum distribution of digital contents. For example, partnership with the digital apps and stores. So like there might be a partnership with iOS, there might be a partnership with the Android version, the Play Store. There might be partnership with different, yes, there might be partnership with different types of maybe digital softwares as well. There might be some advertisement in between a video that you are looking on your social media account.
Joint venture.
पता नहीं क्या क्यों ऐसे joint venture कहाँ से
Asks.
partnership may include everything. Then magazine staff may work across a number of different magazines. Acha, so there is no one staff working for only one magazine. It says staff may work across a number of different magazines. So this means no restriction on the staff to work only for a particular magazine. Then magazine authors. Writers for the magazines are known as authors. Authors include employee of publishers of the magazine, in-house authors. So there are in-house authors as well. And there are the freelance authors as well. Now, who are the freelance authors? Freelance authors are not employee of the publishers, but have an arrangement with the publishers which requires them to produce specific content. They are paid fees only for what they write. For example, if I am a freelance, like I know many students of mine who currently work for Dawn, for Jung, for other newspapers, for different magazines as well. And they provide freelancing services to these magazines companies. The magazine company buy their written contents on a paid fee, maybe on the basis of per word that they have written, and they publish the same thing in their magazines. So some will be well-known names in relation to the subject which the magazine covers and will be paid to give their opinion about the subject. For example, if Virat Kohli is writing about India and Pakistan match, so think of the fact that how much amount will the magazine company pay him? Even let's suppose even if he is writing one page, and if it is only Virat Kohli who is writing this specific magazine, and he is providing you the insight about the India-Pakistan match, just imagine how much amount of readers will we be able to capture. So the first thing is that there are some well-known people and there are people who are not so well-known. So the fees of both these type of individuals are going to be totally different. Now, other magazine staff. Let's talk about the other magazine staff. Editors check what authors have written for accuracy, spelling, grammar, and clarity of reading. Design staff are responsible for design the layout of the published material. For example, how it should look. which, let's suppose, Time Romans or Roman, or which type of font should we use, what should be the font size, and other factors. IT support staff maintain the publisher's IT infrastructure. IT infrastructure means whatever the publishers is going to publish, they are going to maintain their publishing streams, and they will log their publishing stream for their magazines. Advertising staff are responsible for selling space in the magazine. For example, I have space on page number 1. This is going to be the most expensive space. I have space in the middle of page number 7 out of 10 pages. So that is going to be a cheaper space. I have a space at the end of the magazine. So that is also going to be expensive one. The first page and the last page are expensive because sometimes you open the magazine like from the end, and sometimes you open the magazine from the start. But the middle pages are not so expensive. So if you have a good budget, you can advertise it on the front page. If you have not so good budget, you can advertise it on the last page. But if your budget is very low, you can advertise it in between. So there is a total advertisement staff available who's going to look at how this advertisement model is going to work. Then magazines contain advertisement of products, services which advertisers feel will interest the magazine's reader. Remember, they are not talking about the advertisement of popular personalities. They are talking about the advertisement of popular products. They're talking about the advertisement of popular services, but not the popular personalities. Then marketing staff are responsible for marketing the magazines through various channels. So we can market the magazine through various channels, like for example, digital marketing, social media marketing, search engine optimization marketing. So any other sort of marketing. The magazine editor-in-chief is an overall charge of the magazine, and all employees and freelancers report to him or her. So the person who is the editor-in-chief is going to be responsible for the magazine, and all the employees, freelancer, report directly to the editor-in-chief. So magazine production process. How do we produce the entire set of magazine? For each edition of the magazine editor-in-chief specifies the content. So it goes like this, that the editor-in-chief will specify the content. Number 1 of the magazine, who will write each item in the magazine, employee or freelancer, and this instruction is provided to the employee or freelancer. Author may write material for the magazine solely at their desk, or they may have to go out to obtain material from articles. So the author may write solely from their mind. For example, the writers, they think that, okay, I'm thinking right now they need a quiet place. So this is my desk. I'm going to write the material and I'm going to give it to the chief author, the editor-in-chief. Or I need to go out to a place. For example, if I'm writing about a new opening of a new amusement park, I'll go over there and I'll see how the kids are playing. I'll see how the activities are working. I'll see how the government have built up an infrastructure, and maybe I might write it about it. Or if I want to experience the cricket match, remember there are two different experiences. One is in front of TV and one is buying a ticket, getting a visa and moving towards Sri Lanka to see the match live there and then. And let's suppose if it's India and Pakistan, so you can imagine what can happen, what will happen. So basically, the magazine production process works like this, that you have two different types of authors and they both are working solely either on their desk or they are going out to find out material for their art. For example, authors on magazine about film would attempt the film screening as well. So if I would want to write about a particular film, I'll go to the film screening, the first film screening, and then I will write something about the film so that the people who are readers of the magazine, they're going to get attracted and they will go and buy the tickets for the film. Magazine have a guide which author must follow which content. So there are two types of authors. Number 1, freelancers. Number 2, employee. So we have a guideline that which author is going to tell us about which specific type of subject. Guidance will include what content is and is not acceptable. So there are specific guidance of what is acceptable. For example, something about vulgarity will not be acceptable. Something about personal life of a particular popular personality will not be acceptable. I mean, It will also include the tone and presentation of the content. For example, use of paragraph and punctuation, as well as preferred terminology. Authors generally have to produce content by a set date. So authors are generally going to produce the content by a specific deadline for each edition of the magazine. Umar, I will give namaz break. Wait. The deadline allows the sufficient time for editing, printing, digesting the content by the publication date of the magazine. Once content have been written, it is reviewed, edited by the editors. So once you have written the content, now these contents are going to be reviewed and it will be edited by the editors. Once writing and editing have been completed, the content written by the authors is brought together into an edition of a magazine. So once it works like this. So firstly, there is a deadline in which the content are being produced. Firstly, the content is being produced. Secondly, editing is being done. Then review is undertaken. And then the content written by the authors is brought into the edition of the magazine. And then it is published, which will also include advertisement and letters from the magazine readers. See, if I'm publishing on the quarter page, or let's suppose if I'm publishing on 75% of the page of the magazine, so maybe the remaining 25% might include the advertisement of a particular company or a product. The magazine editor-in-chief will review the whole magazine. There will be an editor-in-chief who will review the whole magazine. The magazine will be printed and or uploaded if published online. So the magazine will be printed and it will be uploaded if it is published online. Now, software. Now, how does the software thing work? Many publishers face the fee to suppliers for software which assist in publishing content. Now, it says, so many publishers pay fees to the suppliers for software which assist in publishing content. So there are softwares which are paid softwares, and many publishers are paying fees for this software. A digital publishing platform is software used specifically for producing digital content. The capabilities the digital publishing platform has depends upon the software being used, as well as assisting with design and layout. It may be used to add multimedia elements and publish contents onto the multiple channels, including social media and mobile application. So there might be some difference in the social media digital presence, and there might be some differences in the mobile application digital presence related to these magazine softwares. A digital publishing platform may also allow the inclusion of advertisement as part of the digital content. So the digital publishing platform means, for example, if I'm reading that, okay, this is related to a recent match relating to football, if I'm reading, and after 10 minutes, there pops up an advertisement. So the digital advertisement works like this. And obviously that will be a source of income. Other facilities digital publishing platforms may provide include data analytics, search engine optimization. How many people are interested in a particular event that will be held after 2 months in this economy? We have published 10 different articles, but the total number of readers were 10,000. And let's suppose 7,000 people read about an event that will happen in, let's suppose, next 2 months. So this is the data analytics that the digital softwares are going to provide to the company. And the company, if they are using this data, they might be, formulating more and more additions on the specific thing that the people would want to read. For example, currently there are different sort of drama. And the drama that are most liked by the people, it is also published, or it is also circulated in the cinema industry as well. So this is how the software industry is working. And integration with the e-marketing. Some digital platform provide paywall, which means that some content is only available on payment of additional fee. If there is a spice related to a particular product or a particular personality, if I want to add some spice and if I'm saying that, okay, if you want to read about this content, you need to pay us $3, $5 more in order to read the content. So this is the basics software update. Now, let's first read till the moment we finish the industry information and then give us then go for a namaz break, or should we give it right now? Right now? What time हुआ? अच्छा अभी तो टाइम हाँ रुके फिर अभी नहीं पहले पढ़ते हैं so source of income अभी तो बहुत टाइम sale of print based magazine to retailers. So now sources of income are: number one, you sell the print based magazines to the retailers. For example, supermarkets and transport hubs, retailers buy magazine from the publishers for onward sale to their customer. For example, if on a highway I'm having my cart relating to magazine, maybe in supermarkets I can keep my magazines. For example, if you visit different supermarkets, like for example, we have Nahid and other supermarkets, you will find some magazines being kept over there. You will find magazines in different offices as well. In the announcement tables, in the meeting tables, you will find some magazines. In the director's room, you will find different side of magazines. Coffee houses as well, yes. Yes, business class waiting lounges. Subscription to Bilkul, business class waiting lounges as well. Subscription to print-based copies of magazine. Now, subscribers pay a subscription to purchase a set number of editions of the magazine, often all those published in a year. The total subscription cost is less than of purchasing each edition separately. The editions are sent directly to the subscriber. So if you buy all the editions separately, you will be paying more amount as compared if you buy a group or a set of edition. Let's suppose if I'm paying for the entire 1 year set of edition of a particular magazine, and in the entire year there will be 12 different set of magazine, 12 different edition of magazine. So if I'm paying for the entire year lump sum right now, so I will be getting the digital printing or digital format of these magazines every single month. Now, subscription to digital version of the magazines and other platform where digital contents are available. Subscribers pay a subscription to receive an electronic copy of the magazine via email and or to be able to access digital content for a set period of time. Either you get it on your email or you get it for a set period of time. Sale of advertising space in print-based and digital magazine. So there's a sale of an advertisement space in print-based. Obviously, print-based means that 75% of the page is on the basis with the content of the topic, and the remaining 25%, maybe 20%, maybe 15%, or maybe just a small picture of the product that we are advertising. So business pay magazine publishers to include advertisement for their products or services in their publication. The advertisement mostly relates to the subject matter of the magazine and are targeted to at its reader. So the advertisement is basically about the subject matter. For example, if I have written a blog regarding the cricket, so I can market relating to a particular selling a particular bat or a ball that is being signed by Wasim Akram, or maybe signed by Virat Kohli, or maybe signed by any other person. So I can advertise that. Then or maybe I can advertise the perfume as well. In today's world, you can see perfume industry like J. They are selling perfumes related to the big personalities. I saw perfume, Wasim Akram perfume that is actually a ball shaped perfume. Then there is a bat shaped perfume as well. Same in J. Then there is an X shaped perfume as well. It's like X shaped perfume shown in the J. So you can use such perfume advertisement or maybe other souvenir advertisement as well. Then expenses. Now, expenses are to be kept in your mind, and there can be a question that how to reduce these expenses in the actual sense. So, paper cost. Publishers use external suppliers to supply paper for print-based magazines. They often purchase the paper in bulk and enter into the long-term supply agreements with the paper supplier. So first cost is the huge cost is paper cost. Number one. Number two, printing cost. Publisher. Now, the paper cost isn't being bought from the external supplier. So this paper cost is totally dependent upon the economy and its, GDP and other growth factors or inflation. Printing cost, publishers can print the magazine themselves or outsource the printing to printing. So if you print yourself, definitely if it's a bulk printing, that will help you. That will actually reduce the cost. But if you are outsourcing it, it will be a bit, expensive. Now, print-based magazine distribution cost. Once printed, magazines are sent to the subscribers and retailers. Publishers may operate distribution centers. Now, magazine once they are printed, they are sent to the subscriber. For example, if you there's one part of the class who have subscribed for the print-based magazine. So I'll give you a one copy, and there's one part of the class who have subscribed for the digital magazine. So I will give you a digital copy on your email, or maybe for a set period of time, you can visit our website, log into your details, and you can read it over there. So it says that the publishers may operate distribution centers, incurring running costs. Magazines are transported from the printing locations to the distribution centers, including vehicle and transportation cost, and from there to individual subscribers, including postage cost or retailer cost, incurring further vehicle and transportation costs. So again, they can be transportation costs. There will be postage cost, maybe if we are posting it from one place to another. So that will also be included in the cost. Then employee salary. Obviously, we have full-time employees and we have freelancers as well. This includes salaries of the authors, editors, also advertising, marketing, IT, administrative, and other related staff. Freelance author fee. These will be for each item written, maybe on the basis of each word written, maybe on the basis of each edition written. Technology running cost. These include the technology necessary for the production of print-based magazine and to support digital material. Cost, like for example, as we know that there is a software that looks into the publication and the spelling check and other form of check. So cost may include fee paid by a third party supplier or who provide a digital publication platform. Technology costs also include the cost of operating the publisher's own administration and accounting system. So there's an accounting system cost as well. Office premises costs. Publishers often require significant office space and may also operate on multiple sites. So publishers need an office space. Now, industry body. Now let's look at the industry body, which is very important for us. The magazine regulators in the Darlin in the newspaper and magazine standard authority. So there is an authority that look after the magazine regulation. So the authority is known as Newspaper and Magazine Standard Authority. It publishes regulations and governance covering content accuracy. So it will look into the regulations and governance. It will look into the content accuracy. It will look into the taste and offensiveness, what people are liking and what people think is going to be offensive or they might be offended. Writing about controversial issues. Wasim, Ma. So that's a controversial issues in nowadays. Behavior of publishers employee. What can be the behavior of the employee? Are they being paid fairly or not? It handles complaints and conducts investigation. It can require magazines to publish correction in accurate or misleading material and may impose fines on magazine for breaching the regulation. So let's suppose if I have published a news that is negative, or if I have published a news that goes contrary, or if I have published a news that is not, if I have published a news that goes contrary, so this can also create a complaint in terms of inaccurate material, and you might be re-uploading another material or another edition of the same publication. Then stakeholders. Now you read this stakeholders very carefully. We are not going to reach to a conclusion by applying a model right now. We will not apply a model right now, but read them very carefully. Think of what stake do they have in this industry. So magazine readers, biggest stakeholder, biggest stakeholder. Then magazine directors. Then we have content authors, employees, and freelance and editors. Then we have other key employees, paper suppliers, distribution business, printing business, retailers of magazine, advertisers, providers of digital platforms, investors, significant individual organization in sectors covered by magazines, for example, sporting bodies, computer games manufacturers, pressure groups, um, NMSA, that is the regulators. So, what do you think? Who are the most influential right now over here? Just by reading this information. Number one is the most influential on the basis of which the decisions are taken by the company is definitely going to be the magazine readers. Then directors. Directors are also very important. Then maybe key employees, editors, the authors, paper suppliers. Yes, but if there are many other paper suppliers, so they are not very important. Distribution business, we have different distribution businesses as well. Printing business, if they are good in number, then this is not an important parameter. Then retailers magazine, yes, we can consider retailers because they are the ultimate selling points of the magazine company, supermarkets and others. Advertisers, they are the main source of revenues. Then providers of digital platform, the most important is the investors. Significant individual organization in sectors covered by magazine, for example, sporting bodies, computer game manufacturers, pressure groups, they are important, but not very important. We need to monitor them. And NMSA regulators, they are the most important. But I'm just right now skimming the information that is given to us. On the basis of this information, maybe in the actual examination, the examiner might change the entire set or the entire table. So you need to read in accordance with the information of the exhibits that are given. Then industry challenges. There are certain industry challenges that we need to look into. So what are the industry challenges? The most significant challenge in the declining demand is the declining demand for the print-based magazine. Now, this is declining in demand and the need to replace the loss of income from subscription and sale at retailer. What do you need? What do you mean by this? And the need to replace loss of income from subscriptions and sale at retailers. The most important challenge is that the people are no more demanding, or the demand for the print-based magazines are declining in number. And we are facing losses. We are facing losses in terms of reduction in income from the subscription and sale at retailers. Now, they have not told us about the subscription related to the print-based industry or subscription related to the digital industry as well. Let's see. No, there is a print-based subscription as well. Many magazines cover subject for which a lot of material is available online for free. One of the biggest threat to this industry. Now, what can be the solution to this specific threat? Can anyone tell me the solution? Lots of material is available online for free. What can be the solution? There's much information available on the same topic, free of cost on different platforms. What can be solution? Patent. Yes. We can go for patent, but not exact patent. See, we can dig out some information that is not publicly available. And we can claim the right on that information. Or we can take the first mover advantage. We can take the first mover advantage of, publishing that information. Copyright, yes, copyright. Publishers therefore have to produce material of sufficient quality and interest for which readers will be prepared to pay. Publishers also face threat to advertisement income. Partly these arise out of advertisers being unwilling to pay for advertising in print-based magazine with declining demand. Now, people are no more reading, or the demand is declining for the print-based industry. So the advertiser are not giving their advertisement to the print-based industry. While publishers receive income from advertising on their digital channel, there may be other digital channels not connected with magazine publishing, which are more appealing to advertisers. So anyone who think that okay, historically I was giving my advertisement in the print-based magazine. Now, if I'm not giving my advertisement in the print-based magazine, I might go from other online digital platforms available to which I can give my advertisement and I can earn a good handsome amount of sales from that. Then publishers also face threat to advertising income. Partly they arise out of advertisers being unwilling to pay for advertisement in print-based magazine with declining demand. While publishers receive income from advertising on their digital channel, there may also be other digital channels not connected with the magazine publishing, which are more appealing to the advertisers. The magazine industry is in a state of continuous consolidation. What does this mean? And takeovers or buyouts. Go back to your home and read that handout in which we have studied about the merger, acquisition, joint venture, strategic alliances, and any other form. Because magazine industry is right now in the state of continuous consolidation. They are in the state of continuous takeovers. They are in the state of continuous buyouts. Now tell me one thing. If he is saying, if he is saying that there is a continuous consolidation, don't you think so that there will be a question relating to amalgamation, merger, acquisition? And don't you think so that if there is a question relating to amalgamation, merger, and acquisition, so the SFA model can be very much prevalent over here? Or the financial and non-financial comparison can be one of the major concerns in this examination. So remember this specific part of publishers or
it is consolidation. From this industry से merge करेगा.
moving forward. Now risk. Now these are the risks that are given in terms of industry, not from the company. Potential risk, production or
happening?
okay. So if I move forward, it says production of poor content. Now, the risk is that if you produce poor content, what will happen? You will lose your reputation, number one. You will lose your readers, number two. Loss of sale and advertisement revenue. The say advertisement revenue is going to decline, sale is going to decline, obviously. Then what about the legal fees? The legal fees and damages arising from publishing inaccurate and harmful content about the individual, defamation. So if you are going to publish inaccurate content, then there may be defamation that the magazine is not working well. They are producing a content that is harmful. Maybe they are supporting e-cigarettes. Maybe they are considering e-cigarettes, vape, or pods as a luxury for the current generation. Yes, recording will be available. Then legal fees and damage arising from using the content which others have written and not acknowledging who wrote the content originally, that is plagiarism. The most important thing, if someone else have written the content, We are just copy pasting that content.
Or
Then legal fees and fine for breaching the laws of the Darling regulation. And again, if you are breaching the laws of Darling industry, so this will also be a negative impact on your company. Cybersecurity is also one of the major reasons of negligence. So risk interruption or to operation. So there might be cybersecurity, a threat, a hacking attempt. Then loss of data, unauthorized access to data leading to fines and loss of trust by the reader. So if there is loss of data, how do you cope up with this situation? We can use backup. What other factors? Firewall, backup, data security, data entrance, any other, yes, any other softwares can be used. So just give me 5 minutes. Let Azan finish, then we'll go. Audit किसका? For cybersecurity. We can have some audit related assignments as well, but interruption of operation, better to give them firewall as an alternative or firewall as mitigation action. Loss of data, unauthorized access to data leading to fines and loss of trust by the reader. Then search engine and social media. Change in algorithm resulting in publishers material being given lower search engine ranking. So lower search engine ranking means that, let's suppose if your readers are no more reading your material, so whenever you search about a particular topic, the material that is being most read will come on the top, and the material that is being least read will come on the end. So this is one of the biggest threat that this industry might face. That is, if their ranking is reducing, so the search engine optimization is automatically, or the algorithm will automatically bring it down. Then poor economic condition, just social media no longer making content available. Poor economic condition, reduction in reader spending on magazine. See, it's a luxury activity, and luxury activity needs extra income. So if you are earning extra income, you might spend it. But if you are not, then you might end it. Problems with paper suppliers, inability to print magazine on time due to paper shortages. So there might be some paper shortages, or impact on cash flows of significant increase in the paper cost. So there might be a significant increase in the paper cost. And if there is a significant increase in the paper cost, this is definitely going to have a negative impact on the publications. Problem with the platform suppliers, inability to offer material on digital publishing platform. If I have the same material that is being published and that is being available on the digital platform, this means that I'm reducing in numbers. This means that the people are no more going to buy my product digitally. So if there is no other information available for the digital readers, this means loss. Then loss of key person, inability to deliver the strategy, advertise impact on the content quality. So if you are unable to deliver strategy, if the key person are losing, this means the key content is losing. If the key content is losing, this means the key assets are losing. If the key assets are losing, this means that there will be an impact on the content quality as well. Foreign currency. Losses in on settlement of foreign currency transactions. So now there might be losses on the settlement of the foreign currency transactions as well. This means that, let's suppose if you have a foreign currency advertisement agency who is going to advertise your digital footprint over there. So what will happen is then you will have to think, okay, now the digital footprint are being advertised in the other economy, and if the dollar to PKR ratio or the dollar increases in terms of the PKR, so what will happen? We will have a loss of the translation currency as well. Then obviously the most important thing is currency hedging, forward contracts, call option, put option. Then longer term losses due to adverse movement in the Darling stock exchange rate as well. So if in the Darling exchange rate, there might be movement in the Darling exchange rate, which means that the exchange rate is fluctuating. And if the exchange rate is fluctuating, so in longer term, there might be losses for the company. Then climate changes, adverse impact on publishers, suppliers, and readers resulting from extreme weather event. So, for example, floods will reduce the paper supply because wood cutting is now becoming a hassle. So, all these factors are going to have a climate impact, and this will have a negative extreme impact on the different weather conditions. Then, loss of reputation if the publisher is seen to be taking insufficient action to combat the climate change. Now, if let's suppose the publisher is not doing nothing, if the publisher is doing nothing, so what will happen is this will also have a very negative impact on the reputation. Now, key performance indicators. It says revenue and revenue growth. Now, how do we look at the revenue and revenue growth? See, revenue and revenue growth means that you are among the top 5 revenue producing companies in the print and the digital presence. So publication companies. So your revenue and revenue growth is one of the major parameter for the key performance indicator. Then split of revenue between magazine and advertisement. So how do we split off the revenue between the magazine, and how do we split off the revenue between the advertisement revenue? So magazine revenue and advertisement revenue. Magazine revenue means the sale of magazine, and advertisement revenue means the blog or the area that the advertisers are buying. Split of publication revenue between the income from print-based magazine and the digital material as well. So digital material and print-based magazine both are going to give us a key performance indicator in terms of performance. Operating profit, free cash flows. What are the free cash flows? Can someone tell me? What are the free cash flows? Yes? Free cash flows are loan. Okay. Can anyone tell me what free cash flows mean? Yes. Money left after all the expenses. So free cash flows are liquidatable cash flows. Any cash flows that is liquidatably available to the company, right? Any capital that is liquidatably available to the company is known as free cash flows. Then earning per share, that is, yes, earning per share, that is the EPS. Then number of subscribers, print-based and digital subscribers. Then number of visitors to magazine website. How many number of visitors do we have on the how many footprints do we have on the magazine websites? Staff turnover, how many people are entering into the industry, how many people are going out of the industry, how many people are leaving our company is one of the major important parameters that we need to understand. Environmental impact, for example, energy consumption and amount of waste. Now, when I say amount of waste, what comes into your mind? Recycling. When I say amount of waste, the first thing that should come into your mind is recycling. Then company overview. Now, what do you understand by the word company overview? Now it says March Company is one of the 5 biggest publishers of magazine in the Darling. It was established 60 years ago with its first magazine covering home and lifestyle subject. History was that we covered home and lifestyle. It has expanded over the year due to the combination of publication, popular magazines, and taking over publishers who produce magazines on other subjects. For example, sports. Marsh Company publishes over 300 different magazines on a wide range of leisure subjects. Most of the magazines are published in monthly editions, with a few being published weekly or quarterly. All magazines are published in both printed based and digital format. All of its offices and the retailers which sells its magazines are based in the Darling. March has been listed on the Darling Stock Exchange for the last 8 years. What do you mean that March is listed on the Darling Stock Exchange since the last 8 years? Not necessarily a public listed. It is just a listed company. A listed company can be in the form of public or a private. Okay. Then mission and values. Now, what about the mission and values of this company? Now, it says that Marsh mission is to enhance our readers' life through the आगे ऊपर रखा हुआ. Okay, so it says Marsh mission statement is to enhance our readers' life through the expert provision of information which engages, enables, and entertain them. So there are 3 parameters which engages. So anything that says that we should stop public comment as public comments are negatively publicizing, this is not allowed. Why? Because it is written in the mission statement that our content should engage the public and it should enable the public with information and it should entertain them as well. Then, March communication with readers often stress that March author and readers are part of one large community. It seems that they are part of one large. It does not mean that we are making a WhatsApp group in which authors and readers are all included, but it means that we are part of a large community altogether. Other values which March emphasizes includes its commitment to sustainability and developing its employees personally and professionally. March has an ethical code which mainly contain broad principles on areas such as integrity, honesty, content creation, and also has some specific provision, for example, compliances and regulation of NMSA. So you have to copy paste in your examination this specific mission statement. You have to copy paste this specific mission statement and this value statement as well. Then ownership. The split of shareholding is as follows. Number 1, we have the institutional shareholders who are 60%. Then we have the directors who are 30%. Then we have the other shareholders who are 10%. So this makes around 100%. So institutional shareholders are big part of the company. Now, what do you think? What should come into our mind? They are going to dictate our risk appetite. They are going to dictate us that we should take a step backward before investment. Every single investment decision, amalgamation decision, merger decision, consolidation decision, joint venture decision, strategic alliance decision should first be seen with the perspective of what institutional shareholders' risk appetite is dictating us. If they say that only 20% risky strategy should be adopted, and every single facet of financial and non-financial consideration should be taken into should be provided into them, then and only then you are going to make an investment. Trust me over the fact that financial, non-financial, and SFA is going to be one of the most important part of this exam. Then governance. March has 12 directors. 6 executive directors and 6 perfect combination non-executive directors, including the non-executive chairperson. Perfect combination. It says the 50-50 split is required by Darlin's corporate governance code. All entities fulfill the definition of independence given in the code. So they are independent. There are 50% entities. The entire board structure is being headed by the chairman of the company. And he is also a non-executive director. So March has nomination, audit, remuneration committee in mind. They have all the committees prevalent as well. In line with the Darlin corporate governance, it also has a risk committee, which is not required by the code. There is a nomination committee, there's an audit committee, there's a remuneration committee, and there's a risk committee. Although the risk committee is not so they are fulfilling something above the law as well. Chairperson, chief executive, 5 non-executive, operation director, finance director, marketing director, HR director, IT director. I believe that there should be one more director.
Content.
Publishing, content publishing director as well. Advertisement director as well. Now, it will depend upon the situation of the question. Let's suppose the question says that in terms of advertisement, what Mars should do. So you should state that we can have an inclusion of marketing director to make our product more viable in this industry. Yes, marketing director, so we only need a publication director or content director, a director related to the contents. Then products. March print-based magazine can be subscribed to directly or purchased at retailers. Digital subscriptions allow online access to all the material published in the past, present editions of the magazine. March does not offer digital version of its magazine distributed by email. What do you mean by this? I'm reading it again. March print-based magazines can be subscribed to directly purchased at retailer. Digital subscription allow online access to all material published in the past, present edition of the magazine. So if you take digital, let's suppose subscription, you will get all material, every single material. You will get everything related to the past publications, related to the present editions, every single thing. Yes, March does not offer digital version of its magazine distributed by email. So they are not offering you digital versions. You just go to their website, enter your login detail, and you can have access to all the materials.
ये same information होगी जो printed में वो ये भी गलत
No, this is not defined. This is not defined right now. Now, organization. It says, March is organized into 8 divisions, reflecting the content of the magazine. These include sports, lifestyle, computers. Each division has one main office and some have few smaller offices as well. So every division will have one main office and few smaller offices as well. March has a head office located in the Darlin's capital city in the north of the country, where the senior management team, procurement, marketing, and administrative teams are based. So this means that you normally have regional offices, or I would rather say you normally have service offices, which is, if I'm not wrong, you normally have service offices and you have head office. In the head office, there are 3 departments. Number 1, procurement, that relates to the paper and other material. Marketing, that relates to maybe digital and physical print marketing, and administrative teams as well. Most authors work in the office 2 days a week and work from home the rest of the time. Flexible working condition. Very flexible working condition. Very flexible working condition. Some authors, but of the authors are only going 2 days a week. Office space is costly. Yes, definitely the office space will be costly, and this will be negative as well. Some authors will spend time out of the office gathering materials for the magazine's content. For example, authors on sport magazines attending sports fixtures. Other staff are required to be in the office on varying numbers of days a week depending on their roles and can work from home the rest of the time. But they have bought offices. So if they have bought offices, the operational cost of these offices is still prevalent, or the fixed cost of these offices is still a reality existent over there. Maybe. Let's see. Content producing staff. It says staffing of magazine varies depending on the factors such as subject matter and frequency of publication. Now, if there is an edition that we publish every week, so this means that the content will be required every week. If there is a publication that we publish every month, so this means 12 times a year. So the work depends upon the publications that is being done during a year. All magazine employ one or more in-house authors who will write some of the content required. Most magazines also use freelance authors. Freelance authors often provide expert content, where Marsh is looking in-house expertise for which they are paid at a high rate as cover if employee authors are not available to do the work. So freelance workers provide superb content, and we also use them when the main let's suppose employee author is not having that time to work, so we involve the freelance author. But remember, the freelance author are paid at higher rate. Then I used to teach in one of the universities outside Pakistan online. So whenever I used to ask them for negotiation, so once a person told me that the amount that we are paying you is higher than the amount that we pay the employee who is actually present over there. So this means that Marsh is also on the same perspective. Then paper and printing. Marsh sources paper from several paper suppliers and states publicly that its paper suppliers obtain their raw material supplier from sustainable sources. Sustainable sources. Expect a question on CSR. Expect a very good question on CSR. Trust me, expect a question on CSR. Then Marsh does it printing in-house, unlike most publishers in the Darland which outsource their printing. So Marsh is basically printing in-house rather than outsourcing it to the other publishers. So they are printing in-house. Distribution. Marsh transports its magazines from its printing locations to its distribution hub, located in the central of Darland. The hub sends magazine to individual subscribers through the postal services and deliver the magazine directly to the retailers. So let's see how does it work. It says that the company transport the magazine from its printing location to distribution hub. Now the distribution hub delivers this magazine to 2 different locations. Number one is the individual subscriber, and number 2 is the retailers. Right? So we go on with distribution in this specific manner. Now, IT system. It says Marsh has paid for the use of the same digital publication platform for a number of years. What does it mean? No investment on digital platform experience enhancement. No investment on IT digital platform transformation. They have been using the digital platform, publication platform for a number of years. The platform offers customization of print-based magazine content for publication on Marsh website, incorporation of images, and some data analytics facilities as well. Marsh subscribers database is operated in line with the data protection regulation. For each subscriber, it records their contact details, the magazines to which they subscribe, and payment information, which means it's a risky information that you are holding. The board consider Marsh administration and accounting system to be sufficient for its purchases. stakeholders. Marsh significant stakeholders are the same as those in a sector info. So now I'm of the view that, okay, the stakeholders are same. So we will make a Menlo matrix model on the stakeholders that are given in the detail analysis handout that I'm going to give it to you, but not tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll do one of the past paper. We'll start doing past paper. We have just read it. You guys are going to go back home, read this once again, and then you will, offer your namaz and ibadat. And then once you come back tomorrow, we'll start doing another paper. You will do that paper rigorously, religiously, with all your heart and soul. And then after doing that paper in the next two classes, we will revert back to a detailed analysis handout, which will be completed in two classes. Then we will do two more past paper, and then I'm going to give you a specific, let's suppose, mock exam, two mock exams, and a summary handout of this specific Marsh analysis. Along with this, the remaining classes that relates to a topical area will be conducted after Taraweeh on 2-3 days. Right, so I will share the schedule of that specific part. These classes are going to be different, and those classes are going to be after Taraweeh online. So I hope so. That's okay for everyone. I mean, I'm telling you that that's okay for everyone, right? I'll let you know. I'll let you know. So risk. Marsh major risks are the same as the sector risk. So the risks are the same. The stakeholders are the same. Okay, good. These will be available for everyone, or just no? These are just for the registered student. Corporate social responsibility statement. Now there is a corporate social responsibility statement as well. Now it says that the corporate social responsibility content provision. Be very much aware. Read this with all your heart and soul, because this is something that can definitely convert itself into a good question, a good 15-20 marks question in your exam. So we strive to produce trustworthy and original content. Risk. Something relates to the risk, which engages, enables, and entertain readers. We are committed to countering the threats of misinformation and fake news. We also aim to embed our core values, including sustainability, in the content that we produce. A working environment. We strive to produce a supportive environment which gives our employee the opportunities to produce top quality content. We reward strong performance by a member of our staff. We are committed to diversity and fostering a community culture. We see development of employee as not just acquiring the knowledge needed for these roles, but professional and personal development in the widest sense. Our managers are always ready to listen to the employee's concern. Stakeholders engagement. We are aware of our impact on the stakeholders and are committed to respectful and regular dialogues with the stakeholder, whom our activities significantly affect. We want to find out what our stakeholders think of us and learn what is most important to them. We aim to use the dialogue to take actions which address the stakeholders' concern and enhance our relation with them. Social and environmental commitment. We want to build a sustainable. What do you mean by sustainable? Very good. Using the present resources in such a manner that you are not compromising the need of the future. Then it says, we aim to reduce continuously our direct emission and impact. We regularly encourage our suppliers to follow our objective being socially and environmentally responsible. We are also committed to developing transparent reporting of our impact on our community and the environment in which we are working. Let's look at the financial and non-financial information that is available to us. If you see from 20x1 to 20x5, the revenue has substantially increased in millions. Acha, if someone can help me, the top 5 industries are holding a revenue of how much? 4,000 million. And let's suppose if I say that our revenue is near to 645 maybe, So 645 divided by 4,000 multiplied by 100 is how much percentage? So we hold 16% of top 5. Wait. We hold 16% of top 5. And how much percent? 8%. It's very obvious, guys. 8% of the entire industry. Sir, how did you calculate this? If we have $645 million out of 4,000, that is the total revenue multiplied by 100, and $645 million out of 8,000, which is the total industry size multiplied by 100. So 8%. Revenue from publications have declined from 2004 to 2005 substantially, and in the other years as well. Okay. Revenue from advertisement has increased from 2001, 20x1 to 20x5. Print, yes. Then operating profit. Digital revenue from the publications. Print-based editions. Yes, digital is also included because it's publication. So publication will include digital plus print because they have given something related to print-based edition sales volume as well. So the volume is decreasing. So this publication will include print-based as well as digital publication, right? Then the operating profit is declining. It's substantially declining. Sir, the operating profit margin was 27% and the revenue is increasing. What does it mean?
Operating profit.
That the operating expenses are right now not in control. And you know what? Majority of people are working from their home. So the operational cost of running the different type of offices and mini offices as well. There's a head office, there are main offices, and there are mini offices as well. So this means that the operational cost of these offices might be a substantial amount of money, isn't it? So operating profit is substantially decreasing. March operating profit margin is 27%. Can you figure out the operating profit? Can you figure out the operating profit? If I say that the operating profit margin is always on sale, markup is always on cost. We learned this in class 5. Margin is always on sale, markup is always on cost. So if it is margin, and I know the sales value, that is 645. So 27% of 645, if I'm not wrong, I'm going to get the same figure. I'm going to definitely get the same figure.
27.
Well, the figure is 174. Right? Then it says print-based edition sales volume is declining stupendously. This volume is in millions and it has reached to 3.2 million, right from 3.9 million publications. Energy consumption has declined, maybe. And why is the energy consumption declining? Maybe because of the printing. The printing is declining, so the energy consumption must also decline. Although this is something positive, right? This is something, I'm just writing, this is something negative. This is something negative. The revenue is increasing, positive. The publication is, I'm just talking about 20x5. So this is negative and this is positive. The revenue is increasing. This is negative.
20x1 and 20x5 revenue has been stable. It's not working.
Revenue is stable. The total revenue, you're talking about the total revenue. There is slight difference. See, there is slight, I believe there is, if you see, there's a slight difference. A very smaller difference, but you know, there is a difference, right? Although this is not something into consideration. I mean, it's okay, but either it's sustained or slightly improved. So this is the entire pre-scene that is available to you. Now I'm just writing my number over here. If you need the annotated version or if you need any other help, I'll be able to help you out. We'll be meeting tomorrow and we'll be doing one of the past paper. I will share the agenda of tomorrow's class right after Taraweeh today. Okay. So let's keep our class till here today. We'll be meeting tomorrow.